RFK Jr. wrote his first article about the measles outbreak in Texas. And this is actually his first article as Secretary of HHS ever that he wrote. And of course, people either love it or hate it. I'm seeing a lot of longtime followers of RFK Jr. get really upset about this article because it doesn't go far enough. He says measles is a highly contagious respiratory illness with certain health risks, especially to unvaccinated individuals. Of course, people who are against the MMR vaccine are upset with this wording. Most cases are mild, but rare complications can be severe. Even that simple sentence is something that we have not talked about enough. A lot of people think that if you get measles, you're going to die, like it's a fatal disease, but it's actually not. So right there alone, he's already peeling back the onion. Prior to the introduction of the vaccine in the 1960s, virtually every child in the United States contracted measles. For example, in the United States, from 53 to 62 on average, there are about 530,000 confirmed cases and 440 deaths. Here's another very big thing that he said. He says that there's 146 cases currently in Texas, and that 79 of the confirmed cases involve individuals who had not received the MMR vaccine, while 62 cases had unknown vaccine status, and at least 5 had an MMR vaccine. This is so huge, and people are just missing it. When there's reporting on measles cases, they always lump the unvaccinated with the unknown vaccine status to try to make it appear that more people were unvaccinated than there were, when really most or all of those people could have been vaccinated. So this is a huge change right here in reporting. He goes on to say, while there is no approved antiviral for those who may be infected, CDC has recently updated their recommendation supporting the administration of vitamin A under the supervision of a physician. This is huge because up until this point, a lot of people think that measles is deadly and that there's nothing you can do about it other than get vaccinated. So this is a huge change in the recommendations. Then he says all parents should consult with their healthcare providers to understand their options to get the MMR vaccine. The decision to vaccinate is a personal one. And apparently a lot of people are upset about this who again are against the MMR vaccine. I just think a lot of people have not truly been listening to what RFK Jr. has said the past 2 years. He wants informed consent. So you need to be able to go to the doctor and talk to them about the risk and reward about every medication, every medical intervention. The goal is to give people more choice. You should be able to go into the doctor's office and they should be able to tell you the risk and reward of every option, and vaccination or not vaccinated, because vaccines can have side effects, just like measles can have side effects. It should be up to you to decide which risk you're willing to take. He ends the article with this. Again, another thing that no one has talked about up until this point, at least on a nationwide scale. By 1960, before the vaccine's introduction, improvements in sanitation and nutrition had eliminated 98% of measles deaths. Good nutrition remains a best defense against most chronic and infectious illnesses. So many people think that vaccines save the world, when really it was improvements in sanitation and nutrition that really helped deaths go down. If you are someone who is expecting RFK Jr. just to come out and say, okay, we're done with the MMR vaccines, you need to not take them. Think about if someone came up to you, if you were a Christian, and said God's not real, because that's the kind of situation we're in right now. People think vaccines are their savior. Without them, it's going to be the end of the world. They brought new information to this conversation that we have never talked about before on a large scale. I'm going to take this as a win, but of course, I want to hear your thoughts. What do you think about this? And make sure to follow me for more.